Hi, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to talk about the 5 mistakes that a for sale by owner makes and helping you to avoid them. At the end of this video, you're going to get a secret surprise all about what to do so that this way you won't make those mistakes. All right, talk to you in a minute. So, the first mistake that a for sale by owner makes is the golden rule of time. So the golden rule of time is all about how long you are going to put your house on the market. Most people sit there and say, oh, I don't have a time frame, or oh, I just don't care, just sticking my toe in the water. Don't put your house on the market if you're just sticking your toe in the water. Just don't work. So what does work is having a plan. So you say to yourself, I'm going to allow myself 30 days to market my house. I'm going to put it on Zillow. I'm going to take some nice photos. I'm going to stick it in a sign in the yard. And then we're going to make appointments and have people come by and take a look at the house. Have a plan. Know how long you're going to have that plan for, and make sure that you have priced it right. The second rule is qualifying potential purchasers. So the most majority of for sale by owners don't qualify their purchaser. People call up and say, oh, I'd like to come see your house. And you're so excited because they called you that you say, oh yeah, come on over. Well, you could be inviting, I don't know, Jack the Ripper into your house. Not a good idea. So you want to make sure that the person that you're bringing into your house is legitimate. Make sure that they've been qualified with a loan officer. Make sure that they have the money to buy the house that you're selling at the price you're selling it for. Very, very, very important. The next mistake that for sale by owners make is not having the proper paperwork. So you put your house on the market and then you're sitting there thinking to yourself, oh yeah, I'll just download a contract off the internet. Well, who knows? You could be downloading a contract that was designed for North Dakota. The Georgia Association of Realtors has spent a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of energy on making sure that we properly have you covered. So during your first 30 days that you're on the market, if you do get a buyer, be prepared to be able to take the contract that they're going to offer you and scrutinize it well, so that this way you make sure that you're not out there in the wind. We live in a very litigious society these days, and there are over 77 disclosures and paperwork and contracts just to on the small side when you're doing a contract. So just be sure to read and do it as well as you can do it. Make sure that you have a seller's disclosure and all that kind of good stuff, all of which you're going to have to download or buy from the internet. So I highly recommend doing something like that. If not, you can always go to a friend who's a realtor and have a conversation with her or him and see what they can offer you in order to help you facilitate the paperwork. Paperwork is huge in real estate. You don't want to leave yourself exposed, and you certainly don't want to set yourself up for a lawsuit. The next problem that for sale by owners tend to have is negotiating for themselves. So here you are sitting there and you fly to Vegas and you're at the poker table and you're across from another guy and he's got a better hand than you. But if you're a good poker player, guess what? You can bluff. If you bluff, you never know. All of a sudden you might win. Oh, there's my daughter coming home for dinner. Anyway, if you bluff, you better bluff well. So make sure that you do all the right things when it comes to bluffing. Don't give away the soup. Don't be going around telling people that, I don't know, some crazy thing about your house and how the door squeaks or something like that. They're just not going to do that. And then you're thinking that, well, I can sell my house for this much, but I'm willing to take this much. And usually you tell people. The biggest problem with for sale by owners is they leave, I think it's something like 97% of for sale by owners leave money on the table when they're negotiating their offers. So be sure to stick tight to your price, make sure that it's a proper one, and you'll be all set. The last thing that basically leaves you kind of sort of out in the wind a little bit, but if you can do it on your own for 30 days and you can get that buyer and you can get those contracts done, then you're all set. But you want to make sure that you've done several things in order to get those buyers into the house. Number one, you want to make sure that your house is well staged. I mean, I can't tell you how hiring a stager will help you out to make sure that your house is properly put together. I always call it like toothbrush condition. You can move in with a toothbrush. Have something that looks, I don't know, out of Pottery Barn or something. Get rid of all the clutter, do all the things that the stager tells you to do. The second thing is you should hire a professional photographer. You don't know what you're doing with lighting and all that kind of good stuff, and they do. They do a great job. And houses that are well photographed tend to get the most amount of views on the internet site that you are using, which is Zillow. So make sure that you do that. The last thing, obviously, is the way that you put your sign in the yard. Make sure that you angle it so that people, as they're driving by, can see it. Don't put it facing the street, because nobody's going to see it. They're going to see it sideways, and they're going to be driving past your house and not even know it's for sale. So put the sign sideways so that this way they can see your name or like for sale, and then your phone number, and they can dial you up. So to wrap up, you've got your 5 mistakes that you want to avoid. Number one, you want to make sure that you have a plan. Golden rule of time. Remember, do not get your house stigmatized because you left it on the market too long, or you decided to dip your toe in the water to check it out to see what was going on. Number two, make sure that you have a qualified potential purchaser. Make sure that you hook up with a loan officer and get that through a local realtor that you know that can make sure that she's telling you who the best loan officer in town is. Number three. Here we go again. Number 3. Make sure that you have the proper paperwork. We live in a very litigious world. Make sure that nobody has got paperwork for you. Make sure you've already got your paperwork in hand. Make sure you've got your seller's disclosure. Make sure you've got lead-based paint exhibits. Make sure whatever it is about your house that you've got it available for the potential purchaser, so that this way all the contracts are signed properly. Number 4, make sure that you negotiate well. Remember, the better person that has the better poker hand is the one that wins. And never talk too much. Number 5, which is the last thing, make sure that you're marketed properly, photos are done, staging is perfect. And my last tip of the day, to make sure that once that 30-day mark hits, that you have an amazing realtor on the other side of it, man or woman, neighbor, friend, acquaintance, whatever, that you interviewed properly to make sure that you're going to be well represented. So here is my secret tip. Next week, we're going to talk about how to interview a real estate agent to make sure that you can pick the right one that has the right qualities to make sure that they're able to sell your house properly. Thanks for stopping by.